Hey everybody, Rich with Prep U out here on a beautiful day. My gosh, it's absolutely gorgeous. Rains are finally gone. So, hey, like the title of this video talks about, is what is in your survival garden? Um, we all call it survival gardens nowadays, or just your garden, or whatever. But if we remember back, our grandparents, at least my grandparents, they called it victory gardens. It was gardens that they planted during the war so they could have some, fresh fruits and vegetables and stuff like that because everything was rationed. So this is kind of a takeoff of it. I've always had a garden. Oh, my hat, isn't that cool? Got that from my daughter and her boyfriend. They went down there. Pretty cool hat. It's my new go-to hat. Anyhow, um, we've all had gardens. I mean, I grew up having a garden wherever I lived, and it's always nice, no matter if it's in the ground, raised bed, pots, whatever. So it's really cool to have. And it all depends on where you live right now as to if you're planting or not. Maybe you've already got maybe you're done planting. Depending on where you're at and because of the weather. Here we planted 10 days ago, 2 weeks ago, something like that. And some of the stuff is coming up. It looks pretty good. We're going to take a walk around. I'm going to show you that even if you don't live on a half acre, a quarter acre, if you live on a lot that's 50 by 125, you can get a lot of stuff grown in. It really works out good. I'll show you the different methods because we pretty much do all the methods here at this house. Um, kind of took a look on the internet to see what most people planted uh, in their gardens. So I figured I'd go over some of the things because it doesn't really matter, where you live, apartment, house, condo, townhome, whatever. If you have any space that has sun, you can grow something. There really is no vegetable or anything that grows in total shade. It needs some sun, at least 4 hours of sun for some vegetables. Um, but, you know, you can grow it. If you've got sun, you can grow it. You'll find a spot, even if it's inside your apartment through a sunny window or whatever. Um, so let's go over some of the stuff that the internet says and YouTube says are what you need for your survival garden. So you've got right off the bat, you got the corns, bean, and squash. That's called Three Sisters. And why is that called Three Sisters? Well, Native Americans would plant those together. Uh, they would plant their corn first, so it started coming up. Then they would plant their beans and their squash, and they would let the beans, as the corn stalk grew, they would let the beans go up the corn stalk, and then the squash would go across the ground. And what that would do is that would keep the ground from drying out as much. It would protect the roots of the corn and the beans and the squash, so it didn't need as much water. And of course, we all know that a lot of Native Americans also put small fish with each of their kernels of corn that they were planting, just for nutrients and stuff like that. So, corn is good, dried, ground into flour. A lot of people grind corn into flour. Bush beans, both bush and pole. Pole will grow up, bush will just get, like a bush. So those are pretty good. And squash, you can grow both summer and winter squash, depending on what you want. And then there's all different kinds of varieties of different kinds of squash that you can grow depending on what you want, and they are really good in all kinds of food. So cabbage, you can eat cabbage cooked or raw. It's a good source of B6 and C vitamin. It's high in fiber. Potatoes, some of the best that I've seen are Norland Red or Yukon Gold, high in potassium, vitamin C, and B6. And kale. I'm not a kale guy. I guess dinosaur kale is really good. All kale is sweetened after first frost. So if you don't want bitter kale, let it go to the first frost and it kind of sweetens up. And kale can be grown year round. Sweet potatoes. Great thing about sweet potatoes is the greens are also edible. So as it's growing, you can eat the greens off of that. Lentils, high in protein. Onions. You can eat the greens, and as a matter of fact, it's good to eat some of the greens out of your onions because it keeps it growing, and then the bulbs, the onions keep getting bigger. Also, that's really good. Just don't eat all of them. It doesn't work that way. It does need the greens to grow. Um, Tomatoes. I mean, come on. So many uses. You can eat them raw, cooked, sun dry them, or freeze them. A lot of people can them. Um, then there's spinach. It's packed with vitamins and minerals. You can store by freezing or dehydrating or crush into powder. That's kind of cool. You know, other crops that are good: peas, beets, carrots, any kind of berries, garlic, of course, peppers, cucumbers. Cucumbers, melons, herbs, peanuts, and zucchini. We like zucchini more than squash, so with our three sisters, we do zucchini. Also, think about um, anything with turmeric. You almost want to add that because of how good it is for you. Inside there, um, there is curcumin. Does not absorb easily. It's fat soluble. Cook in high fat meals, which is really good. Turmeric is good for you. High in anti-inflammatory properties, so it's almost like a grow your own over the counter pain medicine or anti swelling. Um, you can also add black pepper with your turmeric. That's really good. Um, Remember, start with heirloom seeds. And why I say heirloom seeds is because you can save seeds from each year and plant those seeds the next time. They just go on and on and on and on and on. They also have a tendency to, after a couple years, they still germinate, which is really good. If you have some older seeds, the best thing to do is germinate outside the ground. Paper towel, warm water, keep it warm and secure, and then you'll see which ones are germinating or sprouting. Then you can plant those in the ground. Um, Something else to do is learn about which plants can be grown together, and that's called Foodscape. I meant to bring the book with me, but there's a great book I got from uh, our daughter's boyfriend. It's called Foodscape, the next food generation, and I'm going to show you in our garden what foodscaping's all about. All right, it's pretty easy. And you also want to find out what plants have natural insect repellent properties. Marigolds are really good to plant by your vegetables because it keeps the bugs away. There are other types of things that keeps different kinds of bugs away. You want to plant certain plants together. Um, as I said, learn which plants go together. Some plants don't go together. Strawberries and blueberries go together. Corn, garlic, and tomatoes. Garlic and tomatoes grow well together. So really, all you need is, containers or land, good and garden soil, fertilizer, with fertilizer or regular fertilizer, some tools, including scissors. Scissors are you going to be able to trim some of the stuff, and as your fruit grows, you don't want to just pull it; you want to cut it off. That's really important. And seed, of course. Definitely want to have seed. Um, but like everything, don't just jump in. You need to have a plan. You need to have some kind of garden schematic. Here's a good one. This is ours. This is what we put together. Watch me blow this away. You can see, kind of shows the land that we have, 50 by 125, and what I'm planting where, approved by the wife, which is always important because I don't know where she's putting her flowers this year. Then make a list of what you want. Um, Check what you already have, always important. Check what you have, and make one trip for supplies. Saves you, all right? One last thing. I talked about this. If you are talking about using leftover seeds from last year or for the year, plant extra, number one. Put a couple together. You can always pull one out. Uh, the germination rate declines over time, so you might want to jump start your seeds and see which ones sprout. And that's what I was talking about, putting it in the ground, or not putting it in the ground yet. Putting it into like a paper towel, keeping it wet, keeping it moist, keeping it warm, inside, not outside. And you can get those going, and then you could always transfer those into your cubes trays. Then you can plant them in there. I've never had luck with those. Everything gets spindly. It grows too fast. One of these days, I'm going to figure out how to do that. So let's take a walk. I'm going to fold this paper up. It might be a little crazy here. I'm hoping that my new wireless mic works, that I can turn the camera away and you'll still hear me. Hi, Lil. How are you? My little planting buddy here. Say hi, Lil. Yeah, say hi. So let's disconnect this from here and we'll see what's going on, and hopefully this will work. All right, so anyhow, before I show you anything about planting, what we've planted is we have an irrigation system. It's really nice. It comes in handy. It waters everything. That's what it's for. It's supposed to water everything, and it's really nice. It's all on timers. I don't have to worry about it. I can shut it down. There's even the new ones we have. There's even a rain mode. It can detect rain, so it doesn't turn on. So that's pretty good. So here is our backyard. And you can see it's pretty full of flowers, pretty full of stuff. And we're going to show you what we do, what we've done. All right, so over here, you can see are all blueberries. Really good crop this year. And then underneath here, you can see down there, we've got the strawberry plants intermixed with those. So of course you've got basil, you got bush beans, you got chive. It grows every year. And then what we've done, oops, sorry, that was probably too fast. But over here, you can see along the fence, we've got corn, beans, and zucchini. Then here we've got 2 different kinds of bell peppers and a jalapeno plant. We've got 4 tomato plants put in there. And something that hasn't come up yet down there is pumpkins. Along the fence, we've got gourds, just for Halloween decorations and stuff like that. We got gourds, and then over there by Shiloh, in that ring over there, are more pumpkins, more for the granddaughter than anything else. And plus, then it covers all this stuff and keeps it nice and moist. We also have an irrigation system that goes in along here. You can't see it. It's kind of a drip. It goes directly to the base of the plant. But let's go one more place, and we got to go around the garage. And so you see that we're in the ground. We're also in pots. And then the last thing we've got back here is I've got to go around all the birds and everything and move all this. But then we come back to our raised bed. Now here's our raised bed. All right, it's growing pretty good. This gets about 4 to 6 hours of sun every day. And what we've got in here is the taller ones in the back. That is garlic starting to come up already. Around the outside of the thing, the perimeter is all onions. The larger green in the middle are radishes. You can barely see the next line over, which is actually green onions. And then down here, this row here is all carrots. And they're really starting to go pretty good. Everything's starting to come up. We've had some good rain, which is kind of nice. So, yeah, basically that's our garden. That's, your survival garden. But I wanted to show you how we did it, because we don't have a lot of room, and we do have a lot of tree cover. You can see the trees we've got, so we've got to manage that really well with the sun. So, but we've got a lot of stuff in the ground. We've utilized in-ground, in pots, raised bed. We were going to put some more stuff on the other side of the house, but notice, Shiloh, come here. He likes to escape. Old fence here. But anyhow, we were going to put some more stuff, but I noticed that there's no sun, or not enough sun back there. So we put more hosta, the weed of the flower world, hosta. So, but that's it. I mean, that's our garden, down over here, which is really kind of neat. We've jammed everything in. Oh, and if you're wondering, yes, compost pile. We love our compost pile. Thanks to our daughter. She said, Dad, you need a compost pile. Quit throwing the crap away. So we did. So that's it. That is all about your survival garden, what you can grow. No, and don't forget, like your carrots and your radishes and your green onions, you can get two crops in, depending on where you live. Pretty easy. A lot of this stuff you can get two crops in it, and tomatoes keep giving all year. So that's it. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope it gave you some great ideas to have some fun with it, and hopefully you won't need the food. It's just fun to grow. I love it. I love seeing the stuff come up. Um, but as you saw when you looked at the in-ground, we have maple seeds everywhere, and that's the rest of my day is picking up all the maple seeds. So thanks a lot. Appreciate it. Subscribers, thank you, thank you, thank you. If you're not a subscriber, please do. We got a lot more videos coming. And as always, be aware of your surroundings and have enough food to bug out or stay in place, shelter in place. And please prep like your life depends on it, because it really does. Take care. Fresh fruit is the best, and vegetables. Take care.